In this video, let's go through three of the fundamental types of data that you will be using in ArcGIS Pro. And those three are shapefiles, feature sets, and layers. So they all equate to generally the same thing, but there's some caveats of where they live and everything. Shapefiles are a standalone file that creates 5 or 6 files, and they are outside of any container and they stand alone. And there are several types of shapefiles. And you can see here that I've made a point shapefile, and notice the icon in the catalog, a polygon shapefile, and a polyline shapefile. And you can make new shapefiles by right-clicking on any folder that you have a connection for and going to New and Shapefile. And in this dialog box, you're able to give it a name and its location. And here under geometry type, you can choose between point, polyline, or polygon and polyline. There's multi-point and multi-patch as well, but we won't cover those right now. A bunch of other settings in your coordinate system that we talked about earlier. So that's how you can create them. And obviously, since the type is set between polygon, polyline, and points, that means if you're trying to create or map points, it needs to be in a point, and a polyline, and so forth and so on. That's how it keeps them separated. The same rules sort of apply to what they call feature data sets, or feature classes, excuse me. Feature classes live inside of databases. So a Esri file geodatabase is a container that allows you to hold multiple types of objects all in one location. They operate a little differently. They operate a little faster depending on the data type. And I can right click on this database and I can go to New and make a new feature class. And when I say feature class, you get this pop-up dialog, and notice you have polygon, line, point, patch, and that you get additional in a database for 3D objects and annotations. So all of those apply still inside of a feature class of a database. So when would you use shapefiles versus databases? Well, shapefiles are often easier to bring into third-party softwares. So if you're trying to create something in here that you're wanting to use in a CAD program, maybe you want it in shapefiles. You can connect to databases in them in other programs, but it can become cumbersome. Databases and feature classes gives us some extra capabilities for controlling our data that shapefiles don't give us. We'll go over that later as well. Now I said I was going to mention one other one called layers. Now, layers do not store any data at all. Think of them as a photo, or they store the symbology, the colors, and how you make your shapefiles look out, and so that you can bring them back in. Let me show you an example. So here on the screen, we've got a polygon that is part of this polygon layer, and I can turn it on and off by doing this. And you can bring the same shape file, the same data set into a map multiple times. And notice what happens when I just bring in the shapefile. So every time I bring this in, GIS is choosing a symbology or a coloring scheme for it. Okay. Now I'm going to remove all of these. All but one, maybe. Let's remove all but one. And I'm going to right click and remove. And I'm going to turn this one off. And now over here is a layer at LYRX, a layer type. When I bring this in, it looks completely different. And what that means is that I have created the symbology, made it look the way I want it to look, and I saved it out as a layer so that if I use it again, I get the same symbology. I don't have to go through all the steps of setting it and making it look the same. So if you have a data set that you have went through the trouble of doing your cartography and getting it to look the way you want it to look, and you want to make it look this way over and over and over again in multiple maps or multiple projects, that is when you save it out as a layer. Now this layer file right here, if I go to its properties, it goes to a source just like everything else, but I am messing with a layer of the polygon. So I edit the data in the polygon and it will update in the layer file. It is doesn't layers don't store the actual geometries. They store the symbologies of geometries. The geometries are stored in the shapefile. And I think that's enough for this video. In our next one, we're going to actually start making some stuff now that we've went through these basics, and we'll expand on all these as we move forward. But I wanted to cover these basics before we got into creating some data. If you found this helpful, please click like and feel free to subscribe.